Okay, today is June 30th, 2024, and I am out here on the property doing some updates on my fruit trees. And so it's a beautiful day, a little bit hot, but it's still very nice. It's not as windy as usual, which is great. And so let's go around and see what's going on with the fruit trees. So I have figs. This is a Desert King, and it's getting very warm and dry, and so the figs are starting to kind of like struggle a little bit. The leaves are drying up, falling off. It's shedding some of the leaves. I think it's just trying to keep itself alive from all these heat. There hasn't been any water in probably 3 weeks now. And yeah, this is usually the case this time of the year. We had really good rain earlier in the year, but it kind of stopped. And it is kind of expected here. We get really dry July, August, possibly September. Sometimes it goes all the way into October. And the trees usually struggle really bad. Okay, so here I have another fig that I thought died from last season. But somehow it grew back from just a stump over there. See that? That stump right there was what it was initially. It died, but then it grew back from the bottom. This is also a Desert King. And then I have a self-watering system here that is feeding water into the bottom of this area. And so hopefully that, it'll last like a few days so that the tree can get some sort of water. And this is the newest addition. This is actually a pear, which is a Korean giant, but I grafted on top of an apple stalk, rootstock. And so you can see here, you see that's the union right there, and the bottom is an apple tree, and it looks like it's doing pretty well. So hopefully that would make it, so that we can actually see how well the rootstock of an apple will grow the pear. Okay, so here I have some asparagus that I grew for 2 seasons, and a jujube that I grew from seed. And this asparagus is doing pretty well despite the dry condition. It even has sprouted some new spears. And so yeah, it looks like asparagus do really well in dry conditions. So I would be adding a lot more of those in the coming years. Then I have this jujube. This is a chantilly jujube. And my aloe is lost within the grass right here. So there's one right here. And there's one right there. So I need to do a little cleanup. This is my apple that I grew from seed. Looks to be doing very well. I think this tree will withstand really dry climate, and we'll see how that goes. I plan to graft other varieties onto here. Look at that, guys. There's a mantis on here. I love those things. They're really cool. You see them? Blends in pretty well. Just, where did it go? Right there. Let's see if see that? It start to move. Okay, we'll just leave them alone. And this is a shinseki. And I grafted some Korean giant onto here, and maybe a hosui. Yep, it's a hosui. Here's a graft right there. There's a union. Graft union right over here. So that's just to help with the pollination. And pears, the Asian pear, are usually really drought tolerant. So that's the reason why I'm growing a few of these. And here is my blue giant fig. Man, these things produce some of the largest fruits I've ever seen. I harvested 2 already. So I'll put a picture on the screen so you can see, but I also will link you to the video where I did a review on these guys. Really love the flavor. It's perfect amount of sugar, not extremely sweet, but it's just so tasty. I'm not sure if this is a giant Texas blue fig or just blue fig. I don't know. The tag only says giant blue fig, so that's all I know. But because I bought this in Texas, I'm sure it's a Texas giant blue fig. And this one is supposed to be very drought tolerant as well, so very excited. So I'm waiting for these guys to grow new branches because I'm going to propagate it and grow a bunch more later. This is the Rose Princess Nectarine. It's doing pretty well. It just doesn't have any fruits yet. I'm not sure if it does need a pollinator or not, but the tags say it doesn't. So we'll see in the coming years. Okay, so here we have a Korean giant. Look at those stink bugs over there, or leaf-footed bug. Those are bad. Let me flick them off. See, they just flew off. But they're not good for your tree because if you have fruits, they will sting the fruits and cause damage on the inside. It just causes these really bad callus inside of the fruits. It's very unpleasant. You can still eat the pears, but it's just, you don't want a lot of those sting, spots on the fruit. So you try to get rid of those guys as much as you can. So this is a Korean giant. And this is a donut peach. I think other names for this is the galaxy peach, white peach. It does have white flesh on the inside. I harvested a ton of fruits this year. I'm very surprised. So yeah, I'll put a picture on the screen as well. It's very tasty, and I love it when it's crunchy. So I harvest it like towards middle of June. If you wait till the end of June to July, it gets really, really soft, but it's very, very sweet though. Okay, next we have, this is a gyro persimmon. It's kind of not doing very well, but hopefully it'll make it through this summer. And I think once it makes it through the first summer, it'll do much better because the roots will be established and they will be much more drought tolerant. And look at all these wildflowers. These are, I don't know what they are, but they're very pretty and they grow like crazy in the dry climate. You see these here? They sort of remind me of eggplant. The wild, beautiful purple flowers, they're everywhere. They're just lovely. And I usually cut these off if it's overgrown, and I use them as mulch for the trees. Look how beautiful they are. So many of them together. Look at that. Okay, and this is another Shinseki pear. And yeah, it's doing not too bad. So I would be training, you see these here? I trained this branch already. And so that's usually how I train the branches. I just tie it to a rope and I put a leaf or something that can be padded, that it doesn't damage the bark. And then I just pull the branches, down or out. That way we can, train it and it doesn't have, all the branches grown upward. And then I also have a graft right here, see? That's a graft right there. And I think that might be a Korean giant, but the tag flew off somewhere. Again, that's just to help with pollination, just in case. And here we have another persimmon. And I think this is a giant fuyu. What is it? Let me see. There's a tag somewhere here. Yep, this is a giant fuyu. And yeah, it's looking well. Look, it's doing well. It grew some new shoots. Very happy about that. So hopefully we'll get rain soon because these guys really need it. This is a Korean giant that I grew 2 seasons already. And I know for a fact that this guy will make it because it made it through last year, which is the worst I've seen. 6 months almost without rain. And I don't know how it made it, but very, very surprised. So this is just a Korean giant on its own. I love Korean giants. I may need to graft something else on here because Korean giants do need a pollinator. And then I will be training the branches to grow outward because Korean giants have this habit of growing upward. And I think it's because the fruits are so large, and if it hangs, like this to the side of the branch and the branch is small, it will snap it. And so that's what I observed on my tree at home. It just grows upward. That's just the natural habit of this variety. Okay, next we have another Fuyu variety. Let's see what this is. But it was struggling like crazy. This is the gyro. And it was struggling, and now it's starting to grow some new shoots, which makes me very happy. So hopefully that guy will make it. This is a jujube, and I think this is a Lee or Lang. Yep, this is a Lang. And I have the Lee and the Shanshili and the GA866. Those are really cool varieties. I think the Lee or the Lang, one of those is not very sweet, but they're good companion plants. And here is another pear, and this is the Yali pear. This tree seems to always be struggling. I'm not sure if it is because of the heat or it is because of too much water, because in the beginning when I put it out here, it looks like this, and now it still looks like this. So maybe it's just the habit of this tree, so we'll see. That's a really cool pear variety. And this is a Fuyu persimmon. It died last year, and then the rootstock grew back. You know, I think those are maybe wild persimmon. So if anything, I'll just graft something else onto it and get it back to the Fuyu variety again. And this is a Sharuga persimmon. And see, there's a tag still right there, Sharuga. This one actually has 2 fruits. I didn't pull it off because I want to see what it would taste like. And then if it tastes good, I will be growing a lot more of these. But yeah, that's just too small of a tree to allow it to fruit. But I'm just curious. This is another Sharuga, and all the fruit fell off in this one, so it's kind of grown better than the other one. See that? And here is the Lee jujube. It's grown okay. And then I have the Celeste fig. I don't know what happened here. I think there was just too much water in the beginning, and Celeste didn't like it, and so it started to die back. I don't know if it's gonna die completely or not, but it doesn't look good at all. It looks like it's all dead. But I don't know. We'll see about that one. If not, I'll just dig it up and grow something else. And here is another Fuyu. This is the Emoto. Not doing very good. Look at that. It's just almost dead. And we have another jujube. Let's see what this one is. Shanshili. Those are the ones with really large fruits. Pretty sweet, so I can't wait to try those. And finally, we have the GA866 jujube. This is a really cool variety, one of the sweetest. And I'm hoping it will make it, because supposedly these jujube trees are really drought tolerant, and they need to be drought tolerant out here. And this is just a wild, what was it? Some berry. And then I saw it at my house, so I dug it up and put it here. But it looks like it's dead, but look, you see there's new shoots right there? So maybe it's gonna grow back, so we'll see. But the grasshoppers really loved this tree. They always climb on it. So yeah, I don't know. If it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, that's fine too, because that's just a volunteer. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tree update. Everything else on the property is doing great. And I'm just gonna, brace myself for the heat and the dry summer. So here's a view of around the property. This is just the front half. We barely go towards the back half, so one of these days we'll go back there and I'll show you more. But yeah, that's it for the fruit updates. So we will be back later in the year and see how well these trees are doing.